Hello, welcome back. West Coast Swing. We're going to go into a right side underarm pass. So it's just kind of like calling out a coffee, right? You know, coffee, black, 2 sugars, 4 creams, or whatever. All right, it's right side underarm pass. Now, when we do this, it's not.
Are you on some coffee or something?
I would like to be on some coffee right now. That'd be really nice. You know, have a few more sips of coffee. Now, probably need it. So, right side underarm pass. It's not just a right side pass as we've done before. It is a right side underarm pass. Just like you got a left underarm pass, you got a right side underarm pass. Passing as well. I mean, she's passing her footwork. That means forward or back. She's passing her footwork. And that means also crossing over. Now, at what point does she do this? It depends on the lead of the leader, okay, but also his positioning and when and what she feels through the connection. All right, so we're going to go through this a couple times and then we'll break it down for you. All right, let's take it from the side angle. And usually you start off with a 2-hand hold, some of you, after a sugar push or something, but we're going to start with a 1 hand. Gentleman's left, lady's right. She's going to come to our right side. So gentlemen, that means we have to exit on the left. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Yes? Now, you probably didn't catch that. But Monica actually did something that's a little bit more progressive, coming forward, and when she went back to where she's at now, she actually rotated a little sooner. So that means she went backwards in her progressive passing. So that means that was actually based on my lead and my positioning that influenced that. She's maintaining that same rhythm, 6 counts, walk, walk, triple, triple, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. But what changes it is that, you know, most people find themselves working on footwork. Footwork, footwork, footwork. Where's my foot? Where's my foot? And the problem is, after teaching this for like 30 years, the problem I see is that we're working too much in the basement and not enough what's going on top of it. So the influence, because we know when you go out dancing and you start dancing with each other, guys, you're going to lead a little earlier. You're going to position yourself a little bit differently every single time, not the same each and every time when you do a pass. And so it's very important to know that you've got to make constant changes. And ladies, you've got to be constantly aware that he's going to lead it a little early. That means you're going to rotate earlier or later. So if you maintain your connection and awareness of what the lead is telling you and allowing your footwork to fall underneath you, no matter if it's behind you, forward, cross, you just do the rhythm. It tends to pay off much better than trying to think about your footwork, because when you think about your footwork, guess what you're going to do? You're going to look at it. All right? So are your feet together or apart right now? If you looked, why did you look? Okay? They're your feet. They're underneath you. So together or apart does not matter. At this point, it's just a matter of when does he lead it. All right? So.
And with this movement, really, there's, in a sense, it's multiple patterns in the same movement.
Yes.
If we're paying attention.
Yes. It's nice. It gives you a different variation. It's like you can take other patterns, do the same thing. I always use the analogy that, you know, someone who knows how to play golf or familiar with it, that you actually are taking a club and you can take a 7-iron and you use it for what it's made for, 150 yards on average. But again, you can use it around the green, you can use it anywhere. It's more or less the same thing with a 3-wood. You can use it in more than just one way because you know how to. So the right side pass, underarm pass, is going to do that for you. Make it look a little different. People are going, wow, that was different. What was that? It's a different pattern? Same pattern, just a different look, okay? So we're going to start off again from this same angle. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And when I do this particular step, this is the longer one, it means that I don't take the hand over her head as soon, okay? I'm actually stepping away from her from the side angle. You'll notice I'm going 1, 2. I'm slightly in the track with her. Now, just like two-step and other dances, we have a track and rail. It means I'm going out on the rail, okay? Now, I'm still slightly in the track, going out on the rail in the 1, 2. Now, I kind of drift out on 3 and, still going in the rail. I'm still ahead of her. 3 and. Now, as she starts to rotate, I may start taking that hand over by the and count. Right here where she's on her left foot, I start taking the hand over. She finishes on 4, finishing 5 and 6 on the other side. Again, that could vary. I could hold that position and not turn her until later on and end the anchor at the last minute. That happens as well. But most of the time, on average, you're going to turn her at the beginning of the first triple on the 3 and. Okay, somewhere in between 2 and 3. And then on into the and 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So you know it's kind of around the and that you're actually 3 and you're rotating her, or right there in the middle of the triple if you're calling triples, okay? So I'm going walk, walk, triple step, triple step. Yeah? She's traveling more. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Nicely done. Now let's take it from away from the camera. Again, this is the longer one. We're going to go into the shorter one in just a moment. So Monica's coming towards you in the camera. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now notice that I'm actually taking the hand over on the and count. I take it across from one side of the rail where I'm at to the other side, across the track to the other side. Now she stays in the kind of the track, but the hands, you'll notice that if I'm standing here, I'm in the track. My right hand's on this side where the rail is. My left hand's over here where the other rail is, okay? So if I take the hand over from one side, it's going to rotate me one way or the other, okay? So here we go. From this angle, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 and 6. And notice I'm not trying to take it fast or abrupt. I'm just nice and easy right over the head. Cool? Now, from a different angle, but a different look, how we change it. This is where it goes a little faster. Not really faster, let me say that again. You're actually going to go sooner. That means I'm going to rotate her as she goes 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and start taking the hand across. Just like we did on the and count there, I'm going to go 1, 2, and she's going to turn and go backwards 3 and 4. So that she's still going to travel. She still maintains going from point A to point B. Now, how we usually do this in West Coast Swing, think about football. She's in the end zone, middle of the field. I'm on the 50-yard line, if you will, in the middle of the field. She's got to go to that end zone. So I'm going to get out on the sidelines, let her travel down the middle of the field to the other end zone and get back into the middle of the field. Yeah? So she's still traveling from one end zone to the other. She's just rotating around the 20-yard line. Earlier, okay, in the last one, she's actually rotating around the 50-yard line to the 20-yard line on the other side. Cool? So, as we go to move, ladies are going, what did he say? All right, so as I move through this, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. You see how I did that? So I'm taking it around and turning her on 1, 2. I reach across and put the hand across. Now, gentlemen, as I do this, I'm also not keeping my body this way and trying to reach. As I go through both of these steps, I'm rotating my shoulders to face her as she goes from one side to the other. So as she moves and she goes by, 1, 2, I'm rotating my shoulders. Because if I'm like this and I try to reach, notice that it pulls all the way over to my right side. It's pulling my shoulder and also affects her. But if I face her, it's easy for me to reach more and better. So I'm reaching with my shoulders square to her, and it's easy for her and easy for me. Okay, so let's take it from this angle one more time. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Once more, gentlemen, do not worry too much about your footwork. Am I stepping behind? Am I stepping across? Am I stepping forward, side together? Do not worry. Maintain your rhythm. Maintain your rhythm. Walk, get out of the way, get back in the track, focus on her. Keep your rhythm, and everything else tends to work out just fine. Your feet are underneath you, and the same for the ladies.
And for us also, it's important that we're not assuming.
Yes.
So we can't, maybe he normally turns you in that later position. If we get too comfortable with that and we assume that he's always going to turn us in that later position, if he decides to do it, or it just happens that he turns us in that sooner position, we're going to miss it. We're going to still try to be kind of going down the line. So it's important for us not to assume and just be aware that whenever the hand goes, that's when we go.
Right. Don't question it.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of go through and say, all right, I feel the lead telling me to rotate. If you do not pay attention and you're too busy looking at your footwork, or you're trying to count it out and you're not focused on that hand goes from your right side, ladies, all the way to your left, and it's too late because it's already past your center. You're going, oh, too late. And now you look like you're gnawing on your bicep like it's a corn cob. All right. You're like, oh, something's wrong here. Okay.
I think I missed something.
Exactly. So as you go through, notice that yes.
Or you're going, what are you doing wrong?
Exactly. It's like, you're leading that too soon. I wasn't ready. Okay? follow the hand. So when the hand starts to rotate, ladies, you rotate. Now here's another good point. When the hand rotates you, you're not spinning, you're just passing underneath. You're still just passing your feet forward or back. Doesn't matter, or crossing over. It doesn't matter. The thing is you don't want to turn too quickly. All right? Don't face him too quickly, but you do want to follow the hand. The hand is key. So if the hand goes across, you're following. So basically, if it goes from one side, by the time it reaches your center, where your spine is, or your sternum, you need to figure that out and say, I need to rotate. It's right there in front of your nose, okay? It goes, boom, I need to rotate. If it gets from right side to your left side, you feel it's way over here, you're way too late, okay? Now, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Little hint, little clue, simple thought, guys. If I want to do the longer one, walk back on 1, 2, and 3. Walk back on 1, 2, 3. If you do that, you got plenty of time to go from the track to getting out on the rail. Plenty of time. So again, I'm walking back 1, 2, then take it over on in and keep my shoulders facing her. That makes the long look easy, okay? It's longer, but it just takes a little bit more time to get her over there because she's not actually turning yet. Now, the shorter one, I'm actually going from here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm turning her on the end of 2. Now, what happens sometimes, ladies, you gotta understand this. Guys, you tend to do this without even knowing it. Why? Because you're in such a hurry to get out of the way that you jump out and your position influences the turn already without even knowing it. Yeah? So if I go here and instead of stepping back 1, 2 like you saw me earlier, you're going panic 1, 2. So you're already getting out of the track. So your position itself is already indicating it's going to be an early lead. Okay? It's not a bad thing because it's actually still a rotation. It's just knowing that it's going to happen. See the distance that we have? The closer she gets and you get out of the way, she's going to rotate earlier. So ladies, trying to do your footwork a certain way does not help. Maintaining rhythm, maintaining constant flow from one end zone to the other. But when he rotates the hand over your head, at what point that happens depends on him, his position, and when he decides to take it over. Because sometimes he doesn't realize his position and still tries to lead it later early, okay? So both are correct, just like Monica said, pay attention to the hand, ladies, and your rhythm. Don't worry about anything else. Go from one side to the other. When it rotates, go. Don't question it. If your footwork's going forward or back, don't worry about it. If you're crossing over, don't worry about it. Keep your rhythm. It'll come out on top. So your 3 in, 2, 3 in is really where you're working at the rotation. Now it may happen even later. Don't worry about that. Just keep your rhythm. Let me demonstrate that. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Now notice I didn't turn her till and, okay? 5 and 6. So you'll notice that still works. It was really late, but she still maintained her rhythm. So watch again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. He just says, oops, I'm doing all this, but forgot to turn her. And 6, okay? It's a little late, gentlemen, toward the end of the pattern, but it's still workable if she's still following and you're close enough. So I wouldn't recommend that too much on average, but it will happen. Nothing wrong. You're still in the counts. You're still rotating, but it's usually better to kind of give her a heads up, do a little bit right there in the 3 in or toward a little early, okay?
And that's where, again, we just keep going until he guides us to do something different.
Absolutely.
I mean, he could have just kept going.
Right. You never know because, again, this starts off these counts, but also it can keep going. You never know what's going to happen. So pay attention to that connection, ladies. Gentlemen, follow her. Keep close enough where you can reach and turn her. Keep your shoulders facing her and also maintain your rhythm as well, okay? Be nice, lead lightly, follow lightly, all right? We'll see you for the next pattern. Enjoy.